Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. And if you're new, welcome to my channel. Today's video is going to be a little bit different. If I sound kind of funny, I'm still a little under the weather at the moment. Hopefully I get better. So just excuse me in advance, but I just felt really compelled to do this type of video because I've just been dealing with something for a very long time and I wanted to talk about it. And I know that I'm not the only one that has dealt with this type of thing, but I did, and the reason why I felt like compelled to do this is because maybe I want to say about 3 weeks ago I did a makeup look and I saw this girl on Twitter, and she's a model. Her name is Ashley Moore. If some of you probably know who she is, she's pretty popular. I saw she did this photo shoot, and she doesn't naturally have freckles, but the person, I guess whoever the makeup artist was, did put freckles on her. And I was like, oh my gosh, that's so pretty, and I really like that. And I've always liked freckles. I've always seen people with freckles. I'm like, oh my gosh, your face is so pretty. Like, I just love freckles. I don't know, they're just really, really nice, and I always kind of wanted them. I wish I had them, but I don't. And I was just like, wow, I really want to try to do that because the way that it looked in the picture just looked so natural, and I wanted to try it. So I tried it, posted a couple pictures about it, or posted a couple pictures of it, and the response I got was more so bad than good. And I didn't understand. I was like, well, I got people saying, well, why are you being fake? Why are you not happy with who you are? Why are you wearing so much makeup? Why are you pretending to have something? I remember someone saying girls are out here catfishing guys now with freckles. So I just got like this big backlash, and people were making me feel like, or people were trying to make me feel like I was being fake, or I wasn't being natural, or I was making fun of people that had it or have freckles like it's a disease or something. And I know that it's a defect. Freckles are a melanin defect, and it's just where your melanin builds up in your face, and it usually happens with people with lighter skin. I've seen people with darker skin that have it too. So I mean, now I understand that. The whole reason why I'm even bringing that up is because I got bullied about it, and people were trying to make me feel like I'm trying to be something I'm not, and then trying to make me feel bad for trying something that was, I never said they were real. I mean, you can see from pictures, you know, I never had freckles, so how would I try to trick someone when I previously don't have pictures? I have a video of me with no makeup on. Like, there's just things out here that, you know, people were trying to just make up this really big thing about it, and it just brought me back to times where I dealt with that as a kid and dealt with that as a teenager and even a young adult. And I've been bullied a long time. I've been bullied for a very long time. It started when I was younger. I was excuse me, when I was in elementary school, kids used to bully me because of my teeth, because at that time I was shedding my teeth and they weren't as straight. They weren't perfect or whatever, so people would try to make me feel bad about that. And it was really hard growing up, because at that time I was the oldest, so I didn't have like an older brother or sister to talk to about it, or someone that's just on my team. And it was really hard for me to make friends because I had a lot of people telling me, because I'm biracial, so I had a lot of people telling me that, or not even biracial, I'm a bunch of things, but people were telling me that, you know, you're not black enough, or you're not Hispanic enough, or you don't speak Spanish, so you're not Spanish. Like, it was just a bunch of things, so I never really fit in, and I never really had like a good group of friends or a friend. And the friends that I have had, I always had like trouble just keeping friends, and it just never made sense to me. When I was in elementary school, I lived in Lawton, Oklahoma, and then when I went to middle school, I moved to Florida, Orlando, Florida. I'm originally from Florida, but my parents decided to move back, so I thought that since I was moving back, I was going to get a little better, I was going to have friends and things like that. But I got bullied in middle school, people called me anorexic. People, you know, just call me names. So that I was really skinny and I don't eat, and you know, and then I would tell people, they would ask me what I was, and I'm like, well, my mom is black, my dad is Hispanic. Well, you're like, I just didn't fit in with anyone. I didn't have, like, didn't fit in with black people. I didn't fit in with Hispanic. Like, it was just really hard for me to really have friendships. And then when I did have friendships, I would be the odd one out, because I was kind of like coming into a group of girls where they already had friends, and I was kind of just like there, like, hey, you know, accept me please, because I don't have friends. So it was really hard. And then going into high school, you know, I kind of had friends, but they weren't real friends. We were just kind of like, I guess we were around each other because had to be around each other, you know. We were friends because we seen each other 5 times a week. So I dealt with not being able to make friends with girls. I've dealt with people not accepting me because of my race. I've dealt with people bullying me because of the way I looked, and I wasn't perfect in their eyes, or I lacked something. So I always kind of grew up with this insecurity of just not fitting in and not being able to make friends. And it's hard. It's really, really hard as a young adult now to not, you go through life and you're like, okay, I'm making friends, and you see these other people with their group, their posse, their squad, and you're just kind of like, not, you're your own squad. You're just going through the motions where you know people, you hang out with people every now and then, but you don't have that one friend that you can depend on, or you don't have your group of friends that you can depend on, because they already have their things. Like, they kind of treat you like, oh, you're just like this, I don't even know how to explain it. I hate to make it sound like this, like, you're just this you're just like this floater, there we go, like a floater. You're just like there, not there, there, not there. They don't really think about you because you haven't had that bond with them for such a long time. And it's understandable, and I get it, but sometimes I wonder, like, well, what is it that people don't, like, what is it that people don't see in me, or people that don't want to accept me, or why people don't want to accept me? Because I feel like I'm a good person. I feel like I have good qualities. I feel like I have stuff to offer to people. I feel like I have things to offer, not material things, but like, you know, just I have good friendship qualities. Why is it so hard for me to make friends? In high school, I was getting bullied by a bunch of girls, and it was really hard. At that time I had a boyfriend, and people would try to like get into our relationship and make it to where we were mad at each other, and it was just crazy. Like, I always just dealt with a lot of drama, and I was always trying to stay cool. I was always trying to like kind of go along to get along type thing, because I just hated the conflict so much. And I wasn't very strong. I wasn't very open. I didn't have like I wasn't very like vocal when it came to those type of things. I was just kind of like very passive. And I was afraid, because I remember at one point people wanted to jump me, and I was not a fighter. I hated conflict. So when people were like, oh, I want to jump you, we're gonna jump you, we're gonna fight you, and all this stuff, I was really scared. I was like, oh my gosh, I don't fight. Like, I'm not a fighter. So it was really hard for me to kind of just be like, say stuff and say how I felt. And at some points I would get sick of it, and I would say things, but most of the time I was really just like, I don't want to fight, so I'm not gonna say anything. I always come home and talk to my mom about like the stuff that was going on with me, and that really helped, because for me, if you have somebody, well, in my head, if you have somebody that you can talk to about something, you should talk to them. And that was my mom for me. So I would always tell her about the stuff that was going on, and she would try to give me the best advice and pray with me about it and just stuff like that. So that really helped me when I was going through those times. But a lot of the time I was like in this depression kind of. I was really stressed out, and I would be in this like really bad funk, and I wouldn't want to do anything. I wouldn't want to talk to anyone. I was just like didn't want to do anything, and it was really hard for me to kind of be the upbeat part. It was hard for me to be the upbeat person that I am and the outgoing person that I am. And I just kind of like bottled all those emotions up and let people like really get to me and let things really stick to me. And the things that people said and things that people did to me were really affecting my person, my health, to the point where I was like, my junior year of high school, I was in the hospital. Like, and it wasn't because I did any self-harm or anything like that. I was so stressed that I couldn't function. And it was by the grace of God that he just, you know, just was like, Sim, it's gonna be okay. Like my mom is, me and my mom are prayers. We pray about a lot of things. So we prayed about the situation. I ended up switching schools and going to a different school because I couldn't deal with the drama anymore. It was becoming way too much. And a person can only take so much. Like, I really took a lot through that entire experience. From my freshman year to my junior year, I took so much of people constantly saying things and doing things and trying to hurt me and it was like I was being attacked consistently all those years. And I'm not saying that the entire time was horrific, but a good chunk of it was. Other parts of it were really good because I found things that I liked to do. I liked to sing, I liked to dance, and I would do those things. So those were the fun parts of being in high school and exploring those things and exploring what I possibly wanted to do as a career when I got older. So that was fun for me. But the friendship and the bullying and all that stuff was really hard because it took over what was making me happy versus what was making me happy, and I could just say whatever to the other stuff. Yeah. Once I got out of high school, I started to do things that made me happy. I started modeling. I started to I was doing acting. I was just doing a bunch of other stuff that was really like fun for me, and I liked to do it. But I noticed that over time I realized I don't really have any friends. I don't really have anyone to like talk to about this stuff. And even though I have my mom, I have my family, and I love them, and I really like that they're my friends because I consider them my friends along with being my family, it's always good to have someone outside of your family that you can relate to as well. And I realized that I was like, I don't really have friends. I don't have one person that I can talk to or really have a genuine relationship with. And at some points I had people that were in my life that I considered my friends, but we fell out, and then it wasn't like, then I realized that maybe we weren't really friends ever. Like, maybe it wasn't a genuine friendship. And at times it felt like it really was, but when you see certain things and stuff happens and you're just like, well, I don't really think that we're really, really, really friends. We're just friends because we've known each other for forever, or we have some things in common, but we're not really true friends. So I guess whoever does have a good friend, you're blessed, because you've figured. And I know that friends, like with me, I understand that friends, you know, they go through things and then they get over it and they talk about it and stuff like that. But I think there's certain points and times where you realize that maybe you guys, or there's a friendship that isn't really a friendship and you need to just let it go. So for me, I figured out that there was relationships. I figured out that there were friendships that I had like that, where it wasn't really worth holding on to because they weren't good friendship. So taking all of that, plus taking all of the bullying, plus the lack of having friends and putting that together, it put me in a situation where I was just sectioning myself off from the world, like just becoming a complete loner. And it's hard because sometimes I want to go do stuff and I'll like think, who can I hang out with? And then I think about it and it's like, wow, I really have no one to hang out with. And it's hard, it's so sad, and it makes you feel like down because you're just like, well, you know, I don't really have people to talk to, or I'm going through this kind of situation and I don't have someone to talk to. I don't like it. It puts you in a bad space. It puts you in a space where you start to feel like, do I really matter? Like, am I so, like, why do people not like me? You start to wonder, like, why am I not, what is going on where I can't have solid friendships, or why can't I not have solid friendships? And I realized that it's not always other people. Sometimes you have to look at yourself and evaluate, what am I doing that is making it to the point where I don't have a solid friend or solid friendship? And I realized for me that I don't trust people very easily. And I don't consider knowing somebody or hanging out with somebody for a while that we're best friends or we're friends. I just look at it as we're our acquaintances, and every now and then I hang out with you and we do stuff together, but you're not like my friend. And I've always kind of like look at my past as where people that said they were my friends weren't really my friends because they turned on me or they did things to me that weren't very friend-like. And I realized that I just have this thing where I have this barrier with people. I just don't trust them so easy. I don't give them all of who I am. And it makes me just kind of like put myself in this box. I just want to be by myself because I feel more comfortable. This is my comfort zone. I don't have to do X, Y, and Z to make these people like me, you know, or I don't have to act a certain way because whatever, you know, so I can fit in with them. And I realized that, you know, I have to kind of like get out of that space and try to make friends with people and try to do things with people. But it's really hard because I've been burned so much. And that's something that I'm working on now, is just like trying to open myself up to people, to the right people. Try to have not such a wall around me and let people in. So that's gonna be like my task, to try to build friendships. Honestly, I've realized that even though I have been by myself and sometimes I wish I wasn't, I've learned a lot more about myself, and I'm starting to learn who I am as a person, and I'm beginning to feel more I'm beginning to love myself more than I did before, because dealing with all those people bullying me and making me feel insecure and make me feel less of a person was really hard. And I had to like rebuild who I am and rebuild like a type of security for myself to know that, hey, somebody might say something to you that's really jacked up, but you don't have to listen to that because you know who you are already. And so I can say that since I've been by myself and in myself, I've learned who I am, and I've learned who I want around me, and I learned who I need around me. Even though I don't have friends right now, or even though I don't really hang out right now, that's okay, because eventually somebody will, when the right person that's supposed to be around me comes along, I'll know it, because I already know who I am and I know what I want. I know that people look at me or look to me and they think that because of my following or because of how I look or how I do my makeup or whatever, people look at me and think that she's a stuck-up person, or she's really, you know, into herself and she's so conceited and she's so this and she's so that, but they don't really know who I am. And I want to have that relationship with you guys and with people that come to see or come to my page or come to whatever, to know that that's not who I am. I've dealt with people trying to bring me down, and I've dealt with people being mean to me, and I've dealt with bullies a long time. So I want people that are younger than me, my age, whatever, that it's okay. It's not, I mean, it's not okay that people do that, but you're not alone, and you're not going through this alone, and you're not the only one that has dealt with this, or has dealt with a bully, or has dealt with people making you feel insecure, whether it's a guy, girl, boyfriend, girlfriend, whatever. You haven't gone through this by yourself, and you're not alone. And I just wanted to share that because I know that a lot of girls, and a lot of guys too, go through bullying or go through stuff like that, and they have no one to talk to, or they have no one to relate to, or no one to tell them that, hey, it's gonna be alright, you're gonna be okay, you can get through it, and you can find yourself and be secure in who you are. I've seen people, you know, that are out there that have a platform to do it, and I respect them because it's hard for them to do it. This is hard for me to do, talk about this stuff, because I kind of like try to suppress it and not think about it, because that was a very hard time for me to go through, and every time I do talk about it, it makes me a little emotional because it was an emotional time. It was a kind of traumatic time for me. But yeah, so I just wanted to say that for all the people that are subscribed to my channel, whomever, just, you know, if you're floating by and you watch this video, that I just want to say that I love you, and it's going to be okay, and you're going to get through it. And it might seem really hard right now, but once you get through it, you can become a stronger person. And I know that I have. I know that I've become way stronger than I used to be. I used to be so afraid of everything, and now I just take things head on, and I'm more secure in who I am because I went through that stuff. And even though I wish I didn't, sometimes I wish I didn't have to go through that, I'm glad I did, because now it has made me who I am now, and I can talk to people and tell them about my story, and they can relate to it and feel better about themselves and feel good and know that this is a hard time right now, but it's gonna be okay. So yeah, I don't want to ramble anymore, but I just felt like it was necessary for me to talk to you guys. And if you guys like videos like this, just let me know, and I'll do more videos like this. I've seen a lot of people doing chatty videos and stuff like that, and I know I like talking, but then I don't really like talking because I hate the sound of my voice. I hate the way I speak sometimes, so it's gonna be kind of hard for me if you do like these videos, but I will try to get them out as much as possible. And I just kind of want to have a better relationship with you guys, and not just always talk about makeup. And even though that's fun, and, you know, try out new products and stuff just to show you guys, I do want to have more of a kind of like just a one-on-one kind of thing with you guys. And yeah, so I hope that you guys found this video to be helpful. I hope that someone feels better. I hope that you guys can get through this video without me sounding like I'm about to kill over, because I still got a cold. But yeah, so I will see you guys in my next video. Thank you for watching. Yeah, bye guys, and God bless.